Yo, it's me. Call me back whenever you can. Love you, miss you, busy. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Homeless. My name is Masha. I'm 21 years old, and I'm a bachelor student from Slovenia that is currently studying in the Netherlands. And this is a podcast about how I packed everything up and moved abroad for my studies. Today, I asked not one, but two of my best friends to do an episode with me because we know that everyone experiences life differently and we experience the Netherlands differently. And it's been almost 4 years of us living here, and we could not be more different, but we have a really similar experience. We'll compare our stories and we'll tell you what happened when we first decided to move abroad. Just keep listening.
Recording now.
Yeah, I'm recording now. This is it. This is how we're starting. Okay, so first of all, I have a question for you. What did you want to be when you were little?
I wanted to be an actress.
An actress?
Yeah, I played drama and I just wanted to be really famous and I wanted to marry Robert Pattinson.
Oh, of course you did.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of what? The
Twilight.
Oh, God. I wanted to be everything.
Yeah?
Yeah. I remember wanting to be a firefighter. Then I wanted to be a policeman.
What?
Then I wanted to be an astronaut. Then I wanted to be a Formula One driver. And I still do. I'm sure that will happen one day.
That's a cool dream.
What else? Yeah. Oh, I wanted to be an archaeologist, a paleontologist. And here I am. Piece of shit.
Well, I'm going to ask the next question, but where do you see yourself now?
I like where I stand today.
Where are you standing today?
In school, I'm almost done with my degree. I have a lot of ambitions. I think I'm going to be famous in LA really soon.
She is.
Yeah. No, I'm... obviously I don't want to be an actress anymore, but who knows? I'm still open to any propositions and
maybe.
But yeah, for now everything's going well. I'm just finishing my degree. I like being creative business student, and we shall see.
Okay, so for anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, what creative business is, could you explain it for me or for them?
Well, this is something I've only just figured out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we are in our last year of studies. But it's basically how to business in the creative industry. Yeah. That's like the best maybe explanation I've got for it.
Okay.
It's how to organize an event, how to manage an artist.
To shoot a commercial for a beer company.
That's true.
That's true. We did that.
Creative business.
Okay, and why did you decide for creative business then?
That's a very good question.
Because I had no other option.
Oh, man.
No, I was really passionate about the music industry. And in France, I couldn't find anything that was affordable to study those kind of industries. I always wanted to study abroad. I wanted to go to England. There was a lot of music business universities, but way too expensive. So I found this, and I just saw the small part of music management, which is not really about that. But I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I similar, but I also found I found the same course in France for 11 months, but it was 40,000 euros.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like in France, you get either like the basic university, so like law and stuff like that, is for free. But then once you want to do something get a bit more spicy, it's really expensive.
Yeah, once you want to actually be interesting. Well, the French don't like that. But yeah, I also just randomly, well, not randomly, but I knew I wanted to do something in music, and I knew I wanted to discover some more business orientated things, and that's how I randomly found this course and just went for it, really.
Yeah. No, I think it was the same for me, honestly. Like, I was just Googling it, and then I was like, oh, this sounds cool. I should go for it. That's it. But where did you think, oh, I want to go to the Netherlands?
I never did.
Really?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said earlier, I tried everything to go to I wanted to go to the UK, I wanted to go to the States when I was younger, but it was way too expensive. And then one of my mom's friend told me she did her studies in Amsterdam, told me it was, you could have English degrees. So I looked up into that, and I had a trip with my school. I went to Amsterdam for a week when I was in high school, and I loved it. So I thought, oh, might as well. But it was never my end goal. Like,
Yeah. I'd never been to the Netherlands before.
No?
No. I had no idea. And I would much rather have gone to somewhere warm. But again, the only reason I came was for the course itself, really. And Haarlem was just a complete freak of nature, really. I did not choose consciously, anyway.
But wait, just for somebody that's listening and has no idea that you actually lived in France before.
Yes.
Could you tell a little bit more about that?
It's warmer.
It's warmer. It's warmer than Scotland, that's for sure.
Warmer than Scotland, warmer than the Netherlands.
Do you think because you moved when you were quite little to France, do you think that implemented your choice for going to the Netherlands?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I think I'm pretty used to traveling about and moving country. Not just house, but country. And it was definitely not easy. I was going to talk about it later on. But
yeah,
it definitely helped. Being used to that was a big plus.
What was the first thing that you saw and you were like, oh, I need to get used to this?
well, the weather.
Yeah.
For sure, right?
I had no expectations when I went to the Netherlands. I think it helped. So I was not like, yeah. No, it was just the weather, honestly.
And the food.
Yeah, but I didn't know that yet. It took me a while to realize that.
Oh, for me, it was instant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think going to the grocery store, like that was my first like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus we arrived 4 years ago during COVID.
Yeah.
So everything was kind of shut. Like,
Yeah.
So we couldn't do anything apart from go to the shop and get food, you know.
Yeah, and you lived in Utrecht
And
at that point.
I lived in Utrecht first.
Yeah, so that was quite far away. That was like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I had to, class was online, kind of, but there was also the physical classes that happened from time to time. So then I would travel to Haarlem. And
How long did it take you?
about an hour and a half sometimes. Yeah. It was fun. Not really. It was terrible.
It was it wasn't fun.
I wouldn't say fun, but sure. But what about the language? Like, what did you think about the Dutch language?
I realized I really didn't know much about the Dutch language at all. I thought German was really aggressive. Well, I've never heard Dutch before. So it was intense. But yeah, it's funny. Funny, intense.
Yeah, no, for me, it was so much different than German. Like, I grew up learning German, and like this was such a different setup. Like,
A German friend of mine told me that Dutch sounds like a German baby trying to be German. And that's kind of stuck in my head ever since. But I've never actually tried to go ahead and learn Dutch, just because it's so easy to speak English over here with people.
do you ever regret that you never learned Dutch?
Yes and no. I think it's not over. Like, I still can take classes. Sometimes I do feel really lonely, like when you're in a group and people talk to you in Dutch. But also, as he said, like everyone speaks English, so
Not the hairdresser.
not the hairdresser. But yeah, it makes everything so easy. But sometimes I do feel a little bit bad, not for myself but for others, because I think it's the least we can do. But after 4 years, I think we do understand a little bit of Dutch. We have just the basics: say hello, thank you. I don't speak Dutch in Dutch, so I think that's.
Can you say that?
Yeah.
Right now? No.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Maybe at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Dutch also like speaking English.
Yeah.
From what I
Depends the
noticed.
generation, I think.
Yeah, okay, for sure. But
Yeah.
like our generation,
For sure.
they enjoy showing us how good they are at speaking.
And they are really good.
Yeah, I feel like in general
Much
their
better
English
than
is.
France, for example. It's so nice to, yeah, just everyone knows the language.
And they have a lot of English words in the language itself, I feel like.
Yeah, also French.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
they use parapluie, porte-monnaie, trottoir.
Ava's French.
It was French.
No,
Yeah.
she mentioned that.
But I also think food was a big thing, like how we mentioned it. What do you think is your favorite food?
What, here?
Here in the Netherlands.
Nothing.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
Okay.
oliebollen.
Oliebollen.
Like, yeah, because it's
Do you want to describe it for people that don't know what oliebollen are?
it's a big ball of dough that is fried and covered in sugar
And where can you get that? And when can you get
at
that?
Christmas time, or like in the winter.
Okay.
And it's the only good thing about the whole place.
Oh,
I'm
come
joking.
on.
No, he's joking. He's joking.
Yeah, that's like okay. The chips are good. The
The
fried,
chips are good.
but you can get chips anywhere. You know,
No.
you
Not
can't.
like
but
that.
like-
Not like that. They're really good.
Yeah.
Oliebollen for me.
Okay.
What about you?
I was gonna say cash souffle, but I think it's a cliche now because I grown kind of tired of it. It's not my favorite thing anymore. But they have this fried stuff like cash souffle, bitterballen. I love that. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say that actually.
Yeah,
Cash souffle.
right. I feel like a lot of fried food is in general like
Yeah.
known for the Netherlands. What?
Capsalon.
Capsalon.
Capsalon is
Oh my
Yeah, okay.
god.
Capsalon
true.
is good.
Capsalon is like the thing you go for at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, when
after
you're
a night
drunk.
out.
Can I explain the history of Capsalon?
Please do, please.
Oh.
That's all we're waiting for.
Thanks. So Capsalon means hairdresser.
Oh yeah, true. That's not really history though.
Yeah, it is history.
Okay.
It's the history of the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And there was one time this hairdresser started to sell, basically in a tin, fries, meat, cheese, and some salad, but not much salad,
Okay.
and some sauce. And she or he started selling that out of their hairdressers, and it became known as the Cap Salon because you would go to the hairdressers to get that. And now it's not associated with hairdressers anymore, but it's still called the hairdressers.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, Jamie.
You're welcome.
That's such a nice fact. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But do you think you like okay, if somebody would be coming to the Netherlands to visit, what would be the one food they have to try?
Capsalon, all the fried food they have. Oh!
Oh, what?
I forgot something.
What?
Kibbeling, the fried fish.
True.
So in the Netherlands, you, especially at market, you have like the fish stand, and they do some really nice fried fish. The best I've ever had is in this country. I love this. So I'll bring. Yes, I brought my dad together. He loved it. My friend as well loved it, and I
I
love
think
it.
that's because we are close to like the water. Because in Haarlem, you're kind of like 30 minutes away
Yeah,
from the
but even in
seaside.
Amsterdam, you have it. I think it's a Dutch.
Yeah.
Keep.
I think it's a seaside thing that you can get in any country just beside the sea.
No,
Eva disagrees.
I've never had kibbeling anywhere else in this.
Have you ever been to a seaside town?
Yeah, my grandma lived in a seaside town.
Oh, but in the south of France. That's different. You need to go up north for the kibble,
Okay,
for the
okay.
fish. Like
Yeah.
Scotland.
Like Scotland. Oh yeah.
Get some nice fish and chips in Scotland.
Anyway, what do you do when you miss food from home? Do you miss food from home?
Yeah, I do miss food from France. I miss products like stuff.
quality.
The stuff that I can find. I feel like this whole podcast feels like we're shitting on the Netherlands.
No. I think we love the Netherlands, so that's why we're here. But like,
We'll get to that. We'll
Okay,
get to
yeah,
how we
we'll
love
get to the stuff that we love, but it's
Yeah.
okay to say the stuff that we.
Okay, but what I do when I go home for Christmas is usually I do groceries and I put stuff in a package, and my mom ship me some stuff, so like crème fraîche
Oh yeah.
or yeah.
You can't find creme fraiche here.
Yeah, but it doesn't
that's
have the
different.
same taste. That's
See?
just a
That's the thing, because
Oh,
you can...
Jamie.
Sorry. No. I was going to back you up, actually.
Okay.
No, you can find a lot of stuff here,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't taste the same. Like tomatoes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tomatoes here taste like plastic and water. Unfortunately.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
But I love how much stuff you can find though. Like for me, it's like
Find a lot.
being in the US supermarket. Obviously, no, it's not the same. It's not the same price, but I have so much good options. Like I more than in France. But the taste of the crème fraîche is not the same. I don't like it.
The creme fraiche is the most important one.
Oui.
No, but I feel like they have really good snacks, like really good pastry snacks when you wanna,
Yeah.
That's true.
right?
Castangles.
When you want a little snack,
When you want a little snack.
Lumpia boerik.
snacks.
This is just an advertisement for what? The Albert Heijn or what?
Yeah. Albert Heijn is really good, but it's really expensive, but it's really good. Really good.
They have snacks, but then to actually find something to make for dinner and make it taste delicious is difficult.
But they have those boxes in Albert Heijn, you know, the boxes with like a recipe.
Which is so strange to me.
Yeah, right?
It's really weird.
I never saw that before coming here.
Because, and I don't know why, but I feel like it's part of the kind of, we don't have very good food culture.
No, I don't think we don't have very good food culture. It's more like we need something that's quick and we need to get going and just take the box and make something out of it.
Yeah, it's different. Back home, you would take like hours to cook one.
Yeah, because we love it.
Yeah.
Here is just, that food is not a big thing.
No.
Which, I respect.
But they have different good things and like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But since it's almost holiday season, what do you think is your favorite Dutch holiday?
King's Day.
King's Day. What
Do you
else?
know any other Dutch holidays?
I don't know, Sinterklaas.
Well, no, not.
But that's mainly for kids, right?
Yeah, but also adults.
Yeah, I guess if we had a family here, we would do Sinterklaas, but we don't do it. So I would stick to King's Day.
It's the only one I celebrate. Well, I don't celebrate.
Yeah, you do celebrate.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, come on.
I do, but like, I don't celebrate. It's weird being in a sort of, let's call it tourist over here,
Yeah.
because you're not patriotic towards the king
No, that's
No.
true.
or the country, and that is their biggest sort of patriotic day.
Yeah.
They all dress in orange and stuff.
But even though I'm not Dutch, like I like dressing up in orange
Yes,
and I
for-
love
Oh, yeah, I love it.
going out on the streets.
Yeah, because there's so many people there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. Okay.
I feel like that's one holiday you should definitely come here for.
If you want to come to the Netherlands, you will
Only
enjoy
if
that.
you like to party, though.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
true.
It's really overwhelming.
And like not a lot of trams
people
work.
and everyone gets drunk, but
I'm going to be really inclusive here
Okay.
and go out on a limb and say that the LGBTQ
Community.
community holiday thing is really good as well.
No, that's true. No, I agree. I think
Very big in Amsterdam. So
true.
that's like a really big bonus for the Netherlands, I suppose.
selling the Netherlands 101.
yeah, he's good.
Yeah. But what do you think is the most interesting thing about King's Day, like in general?
That's just everyone followed the rule of like being in orange and having fun. Everyone is having fun. Everywhere is packed in orange and alcoholic, smelly. Love
But the
it.
day after King's Day, I think that's the worst day. Like with all the
Gross.
trash.
And the day
and everything.
before is also really nice.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, but if we kind of like, I don't know,
In a nutshell.
in a nutshell,
King's Day.
King's Day. No,
Day.
in general, the Netherlands. If you can name one thing that seemed weird to you at the beginning, but now you do it as well.
Bike.
Bike.
Using your, obviously I had a bike before, but how they used their bike as I used a tram in my home country, it was really weird at first, just always cycling everywhere, but now I love it and I don't understand how other countries don't do it as well. It's one of the best thing they do, and just so cheap, and so obviously while it's raining a lot sometimes it get tough, but it's just the best thing a country can do.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think
Because you can, everything is made for your bike. Everything, like
If you don't have a bike, then yeah.
don't come.
Yeah.
Don't live in the country.
If you're scared of cycling, why move here?
Yeah.
No, but like I feel like you can learn how to cycle, just not in the city center of Amsterdam.
Yeah, and Amsterdam is a bit woo.
Yeah, you want to learn somewhere maybe quiet.
Yeah. I think Haarlem's a good place to start if you want to
Yeah. I think, the cycling didn't shock me too much because I was used to cycling around my student town back in France. What shocked me the most? I think people being quite blunt and honest. That was a bit of a hard pill to swallow sometimes.
Yeah.
Because we're not like that. But up in Scotland, we're very quiet and reserved. And when somebody tells you, like when I moved in with my flatmates, and maybe I left a dish beside the kitchen for 5 minutes more than it should have been there, they would absolutely tell you and make sure that you knew. And it would feel a bit condescending in the beginning. And this is a thing in this country. They are very, to the point.
Yeah.
But I do think that is something you need to get used to if you're very much not used to it.
But I also like it now. Like, I feel like you get feedback more easily and they tell you, like, this is good, this is bad.
It depends what it's for.
Yeah, it depends. on
Because
context.
sometimes it is just rude.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they use it as a sort of, I mean, not everybody, but some people use it as an opening into just being rude. And they use it as an excuse. But once you're used to it and you're open to it, then it's fine, I suppose.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But if we go all the way back to studying abroad in general, and I know we talked a little bit about how it was in the Netherlands, but would you have done it like again? Would you have?
Yeah. No, sorry.
No? Excuse me.
No.
Should I ask this question again?
No, I
If
wouldn't
you
have.
would do this again, would you have done it again? Like the whole study abroad experience,
Yeah.
going to the Netherlands.
Yeah, just not during COVID. But otherwise, I think I personally did everything right.
Okay.
Just everything went so well as a first year outside of my country. First year outside of my family home, actually, because I moved here when I was 18. So, yeah, no, I would do it again.
The same way.
The same way.
Okay.
There's nothing I would change.
Okay. Was
Maybe
your
my
first
friends,
year?
I'm kidding.
Oh, God.
There's obviously some things I would do differently. But in general, I mean, I was pretty lucky with being able to find a place to live. Whether that was the first year or the 3 years that followed, I still was able to find a place. It was difficult, but you find it. And I was pretty lucky with it. I was lucky with finding the friends that I found.
Oh, we know.
So I'd do that again. Yeah, certain things I'm not sure whether they were worth it, or I don't know. The study itself, would I have done the same study again? That's a good question.
That's a good question. Would you?
But that's obviously something
Yeah,
else to
that's
discuss. But
subjective, I
it
guess.
depends what you're coming to the country for. But in general, the moving experience, yeah, you would do it again. Obviously, you miss people back home, and it's not just for 6 months like an Erasmus. You're here for 4 years.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Like,
It's very different. We've all done an Erasmus here,
yeah,
Yeah.
and that was 6 months, right? All of us.
yeah,
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that's fun. You have a lot of time to just go out and party.
that's true.
That's all I did.
Well,
Depends.
yeah,
I think that's a story for another time, but a lot of people here experience the Erasmus differently because we left the Netherlands, which was our second country, to a third one. And yeah, Masha, me, and some other friends, I went to Madrid, she went to Berlin, and it was quite difficult actually to get used to it. It was not the experience I thought it would be.
no,
I really thought I was going to party and love it, but I actually didn't want to party. I didn't want to. I was actually missing the Netherlands a lot. So
Yeah, I always found that quite interesting what
Yeah.
you did because
Yeah.
for me, I was already abroad, and I know you hadn't. I'd already done my Erasmus by then,
yeah,
so maybe that's what caused me to say no, I'm not doing another one, because I already knew that I was already abroad, and that the making the friends and all, like going through the whole process again, is just such a big thing,
yeah,
and the fact that you did it kind of in brackets, let's call it, because you were already abroad,
yeah.
was a really big thing. And I thought, well, but yeah,
But I think in my case, like it was both good and both bad. Like I would probably not do another Erasmus after this one, but I would probably do it again if I would have to go to Berlin once again. I would do it because I met really nice people and like I had fun and I went out to party and I even loved techno at some point, which is, yeah, I don't know what happened, but like it was nice, but it was super nice coming back to the Netherlands because I knew that everybody was here.
Yeah, I also I didn't hate it, but it was not how I expected it would be. I expected to be so excited and to party all the time, but no, I was a little bit more
reserved.
Yeah, reserved and just a bit lazy socially, actually. I was... Yeah. Anyway.
That's okay.
It's all right. You don't have to always be the party person. Just don't go to sleep at 10 p.m.
Yes, I will.
But do you think that studying abroad is a bit too romanticized nowadays?
For sure.
Yeah?
Yes, very much. I think we put it on the pedestal. And it might not always be the thing you think it will be.
Romanticized, yeah, a little, but I wouldn't tell anybody not to do it.
Same.
Like if if you're thinking about doing it and you're doubting it, it's normal. You're going to doubt everything. That's like even on the last two podcasts. By the way, if you haven't listened to them, go listen to them now. On the last two podcasts that we've heard from you, Masha, you've talked about how you need to pack everything and all that, and you don't know what to take and all that. But obviously, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
But I would always recommend doing it.
No, I agree. I think it's a little bit like a lot of people ask me like, would you have done it again, or is it worth it, and all of that. Like, of course you're gonna miss your family, and of course it's gonna be like you're gonna have a shitty day, and you're gonna be like, I should have just stayed home today. But like, you also meet so many new people, and I don't know, like I feel like it gives you such broadness in general that like,
it makes you grow way faster. But I think it's because it comes with good and bad. And I also think, of course, I would always recommend it to my friend, but because of social media and everything, people get so easily influenced by what they see. A day in my life as a student studying abroad in New York, but there's so much downside, but no one really talks about it. And I've been the happiest here, like the happiest I've ever been, but I've also been the saddest. Like, you can be really, really sad. And a lot of people move abroad thinking of the experience that some of their friends or other people they saw on social media was, but it's actually not going to happen for you. You're going to have your own life, and it might be really different. And sometimes that's where you, why did I do this?
Yeah, that's true.
No, but I think it was the same for me. Like, I was kind of like at some point, like second year or something, I was like, would I have done this again? And like people started to ask me like, oh, is it going to be the same as it was for you? And I was like, no, you have to have your own experience. Like, of course, studying abroad is going to be different for everybody. It's normal because also my life is completely different than yours. And
But also just depends on the kind of person you are maybe as well, because there's a lot of people that are very comfortable just staying in the same place that they were born, and then they find a job, and then they get married, and then that they stay there.
And I used to find it weird. Like, I used to be like, oh, that's so weird. But now I'm kind of like, oh, I'm happy how I am. You're happy however you are, and we don't have to be on the same page to be like friends or like to be on the same page.
I do envy it sometimes. There's two different parts to me as well, I think, concerning that, because I love being international. I've got friends all over the world really now, but
I thought you said girlfriends all over the world.
Okay, also that.
That's another podcast. But I also envy the people that I grew up with.
Same.
Who are still socializing together and creating even stronger bonds that I've missed out on. So it's two-faced.
Yeah, but also you always feel like it is better somewhere else, but your friends think you living your best life and they would want to have what you have. I I mean, that's what I experienced. Like, sometimes I really want to go back home and spend just the life my friends are spending every day, but they are dying to live the life I'm living right now. So I feel like,
Yeah.
know?
I feel like we all envy each other kind of a little bit. But I think the weirdest thing that we have experienced, or like the most close to our heart, is the fact that when you go, you start realizing how much everybody else grows old around you.
Your family.
That's true.
Yeah. Like, how does it feel to be so far away from your family?
I think it's the toughest part. And yeah, again, no one really talks about it. And I know you're probably doing this podcast to also talk a lot about the bad side of it. And for example, in my own family, I have 2 nieces. One was born just a year before I moved to the Netherlands. One was born last year. And it is really, really tough to grow up away from them because they're babies, so that sometimes they don't really recognize me or anything. And I want to be part of their daily life. I want them to recognize me. I want to see my dad and my mom getting older while I'm here, but because I'm away, I notice it even more when I go back home. I'm like, oh, this wrinkle just popped up in your face. And this is really painful, I think.
That's my hardest part as well. Yeah, going home, and I mean, I don't have nieces and nephews and stuff, but I do have.
Not yet.
Yeah, my mum is getting older. My brother's getting more serious with his professional life and stuff, and that's nice to see. But when I go home, it's always a bit. It's like, oh, this is a man now, you know.
Yeah.
And then I have a very old dog as well, and so going back home and seeing the dog is always a bit upsetting, because you never know, you know, when the last time will be.
Oh, God.
It's true. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dogs, you know,
And then it just died.
17.
Oh,
Yeah, we've all got experience with this type of
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah. I think we all experienced death quite, yeah.
Quite recently.
Quite recently.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's tough to be so far away because you can't do much about it.
There's a lot of guilt, I think, especially when my dog passed out. Like, I was just
Passed away.
Passed away.
oh, sorry.
Dog didn't pass out.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's never gonna wake up anymore. But yeah, it was a lot of guilt because I felt really sad for not being there for her last 4 years, which usually when they got older is the hardest ones. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think making that easier is a family that will support you being here. I've talked to a lot of people who don't have that support,
Yeah.
but I think we do. You know, our family wants us to be doing something that we want to do. And that's apparently being here, sitting in this podcast room.
Yeah, you make them proud.
We make them proud. My mom called me the other day and she was like, I cried listening to your podcast. I still remember when you were little.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing. Like, you get so much closer to your parents because you're away. Like, if I think of my friends, like, they're not as close to their parents just because they're still living at home and like.
Yeah, I'm so close to my parents now. Like, I call them a lot, but not just because I need advice, just because they're like as my friends, like, oh, what did you do today? Oh, I just bought that. Oh, it's amazing. Because you have to find a balance as well, like when you're bored, like with the distance and everything. So yeah, your friends, your family, find a way to get in contact with them. It's a bit of a challenge as well.
That's true.
Do you have any tips on how to balance calling back home and being here?
Don't forget to call back home. I would say.
Yeah.
I forget. I used to not call much, but recently, these past 2 years, I think I've been calling a lot. Because I think that's when you start to realize, oh well, my mom's actually getting quite old, or she's not going to like that when she hears this. But, you know, you realize, well, she's got her problems that I'm also interested in, and if I'm away for so long, she misses me, I miss her. It's nice to call home, you know. So I think you just realize it as you get older as well.
Yeah, that's for sure. And how often do you guys go home, like in a year?
I think I'm quite lucky because I live close by Jamie as well. So I would say
close by in international years.
Yeah, compared to
1,000 kilometers away.
1,000
yeah, but
kilometers
compared
away.
to all our friends that come from like Russia, England,
True.
I don't know, some people
England's
come from
close.
Canada. Yeah, but still, like we can drive easily,
That's true.
and I think I go home like 4 or 5 times a year, which is a lot. But also because, I love it, love it, and I can, and I just
Yeah, same. I would say 3-4 times, depending on, things.
Yeah, but I think 3-4 times, that's like a sweet spot. I think that's
Oui.
like nice to go back. I think 2 times per year is too little.
Oh, it's still
honestly.
so sad.
Yeah.
But also because we're really close to our family. Some people are not, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
But I need it.
That's completely fine.
It's fine.
Is there one quality that everybody should have when coming abroad?
Adaptability,
Yes.
Yeah. Flexibility.
Flexibility.
100%. Because if you can't adapt, then you're just not going to survive.
No, it's not that you're not going to survive. You're just going to suffer a lot. Like,
Yeah,
it's going to be
and
hard.
then you'll end up going home,
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
so you won't survive.
I think I'm not sure, but I think being social is a really important quality. I mean, it depends what you want to make out of going
whole-
abroad.
yeah.
If it's just a work thing, but if you want to study and you need to be social. You need to be able to talk.
I think there's one thing that is very easy to fall into, especially at the beginning of your semester or your years abroad, is falling in with the wrong crowd.
True.
Because there's always, and it's a bit taboo, but there's always a crowd that is only here because, they kind of ended up here. And these are the ones that are going to be quite maybe open at the beginning and want to go out for a party and stuff, but then you'll quickly find out that that's all they want to do. And you'll quickly realize that that's not the people you want to be hanging around with. If you're actually serious about graduating or finishing your semester, whatever it is when you're abroad, how many people do we know that have dropped out?
Oh, so many.
that were perfectly fine people, but they weren't here for the right reasons. And I think if you're not careful at the beginning, falling into the crowd with that kind of people will definitely not help.
Yeah. But I feel like it can also change. I feel like too many people are like, oh, I need to hang out with the same people all 4 years that I'm abroad. Like, you can also switch around. Like, you don't...
But I think it's just like when you start high school, middle school, primary school, like you never finish your year with the people you started with, usually. But that's just how it goes. You're going to meet so many people because, our degree is 4 years. So we got plenty of time. I mean, we're running out of time. But we've met so many people, and I just had my phases where I just had to, different. But that's just normal. That's just anywhere you go.
Yeah. But I think this phase of all of us 3 being together, I think this has been going on for like 3 years.
Yeah, I was thinking when you were saying, oh my God, you don't have to hang about with the same people. I was like, well, you don't have to.
You can.
But I mean,
You can't.
if you form a bond with somebody, then of course you're going to end up sticking with that person. But
Yeah.
you want to be open-minded and be able to hang out with anybody. But it's natural to find your group of friends to stick with them.
Yeah.
I also think so.
Yeah, also like in first year, I didn't know you. I
That's true.
never thought I would be friends with you. I was just working in group project with Masha for 3
Semester. No.
2 semesters before we actually got to be friends.
But what do you think is the biggest challenge when moving abroad?
There's just not one challenge. There's many of them. It's just the whole
Paperwork.
dark side of it.
Paperwork?
So
Wow.
paperwork's the worst.
No,
I don't agree.
I don't think so.
But I respect.
I don't have to agree, but like, I don't think so.
Paperwork sucks. But you're organized. That's the difference.
That's true.
Well, MASH is organized.
And we're just here.
And I'm not.
No.
When it comes to paperwork, I hate it. I can't.
No, you hate it, but you are organized when you want to be organized.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks. But
No worries.
no, paperwork sucks. And if you don't get it all, then it's just you need to make sure you've got your insurance and your BSN number when you come to the Netherlands, and you've always got that sort of stuff to do before anything really starts.
And a Dutch bank account.
Dutch bank account,
That's true.
yeah.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
And a house and a place to stay.
If you want a place to stay, yeah, you need
Oh.
this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Eva, would you like to say something about it?
No, no, housing is stuff, but that depends on the country you go study in. But yeah,
Well, yeah, it's getting tough everywhere though.
Yeah.
yeah.
Housing is going to be a problem. Well, it already is a problem, but think of that before you go. I think that would probably be the main thing. Before you go anywhere, make sure that you've got a place. And it sounds stupid, but there's so many people that come here and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to find a place. Don't worry." Nah, you're not.
Hey, that was me in September.
Look for a place well in advance. It's going to be very long, very tedious. It's going to be a struggle, and it's going to be very expensive.
Yeah, and go out and meet people because they're maybe going to be your potential roommates.
Yeah.
At some point.
That's true.
So right, Eva? But since we're almost finishing up with our 4th year, woo, do you think you want to move more, or is that it?
When I started here and I moved to the Netherlands for the first time ever, I was sure that was it. I was not going to move anywhere else because I was really satisfied with what I had, the people I was meeting, the place. I just fell in love with the country, like just my life in general. But now that we're getting closer to the end, I know that I need to go home for a bit. And then after that, I don't know. I don't know why, but now I'm more open to moving abroad again, just for different reason, not to just meet new friends and have an Erasmus experience ever again. No, but I think yes, I would be open to work experience abroad or being famous in Italy.
But that's the thing, when you move abroad, you're opening yourself up to being abroad. So I wouldn't understand somebody who moves abroad and then is completely closed off to the idea of doing it ever again.
True.
Because that's kind of the whole point, I would of course go anywhere now, depending on the good and the bad, like I would go anywhere for a job, I would go anywhere for family or
I think it's easier for us to go everywhere now because
we prep. Yeah.
Because we
now that I know, I mean, it could also answer your last question, but now that I know how bad it can be, I'd be prepared for the bad somewhere else in another country. But that also is a reason why I want to go home again for just 6 months, I think, because I do need a break from that crazy life we're having right now, because it is intense.
it's not that crazy.
It is crazy. Mentally, it is crazy.
Okay, mentally
it's
but
not
you're
Also
not,
physically, like, okay, right now it's chill since September, but we had some crazy
just in
moments.
September.
Yeah,
been chilling for 4 months.
I have not been chilling for 4 months.
yeah, I
Excuse
mean,
me.
yeah, you've been working, but you're different. But no, if I think about my first year, it was intense, and second year as well. Like, there's so many people to meet. It is just really, really overwhelming. Also being an adult, because you also have to figure out who you are. Like, oh, you're growing up, you're getting an adult.
I mean, somebody's already an adult, right?
It's just so much. It's but I'm sure we can talk about that in another.
I would say I'm responsible.
You're responsible.
I wouldn't say I'm an adult yet. I'm responsible.
I think you're just the oldest. I wouldn't say you're responsible.
Okay, that's your bet. Yeah. I'm just older.
Well, if we're finishing up with this podcast, I have 2 last questions for you. What's your plan after this study? Or like, do you have a plan after this study?
Nope.
Well, as I said, I'm gonna go home for 6 months, and just gathering some money, repaying my loan, and then after that maybe a master somewhere else, or just But yeah, stay in touch.
Stay in touch.
Yeah, same for me. It's kind of, it depends what's offered to me afterwards.
Okay.
What if somebody offers me a job right now, like at the end of I don't know. But if they don't, then I'll probably just go home, work for a bit over there, and go on and do something cooler
than this.
than this.
I thought this podcast was quite cool.
No, not the podcast. the podcast is very cool.
Is there a piece of advice you would give to anybody that wants to go and study abroad?
Oof. Do it, but know that it's hard. Was it
Thank you.
deep enough? No, just I want to. People need to understand that it is also really hard. It is so. There's so many ways that it's just not necessarily how you think it's gonna be like.
True.
But in a good way and a bad way.
Piece of advice.
Piece of advice. Come on.
Can we swear?
Sure.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
That's my piece of advice. Go abroad. Don't be a dick, and you'll be fine. There you go.
I think so too. I think you shouldn't be afraid of getting to know yourself, because that's gonna happen a lot. Abroad by yourself. You shouldn't be afraid to be alone. Be by yourself.
And you should, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
go
that's
for it.
better advice.
Don't be a dick. No, just go for it. It's the best experience of your life. It's the greatest gift you can
Give to
give
yourself.
to yourself.
That's true. That's true.
You should do another episode on learning to be by yourself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just a little tip
I'll
from
think
us,
about it.
I think we should
professionals.
talk about that in more detail.
Yeah.
Or learning, not necessarily how to be by yourself, but learning how to do things on your own. Because
I think
what
that's a tough one.
You don't learn that in high school or anything.
No.
Like how to go to the government building and do certain things, and
How to go to the hairdressers by
how to
yourself.
go to the hairdressers by yourself and not get the haircut that you wanted. I'm still salty.
That's okay. The hair will grow back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for coming.
When's this episode coming out?
It's coming out on Sunday, actually. So
Yes.
a few days.
You have to edit that in.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do that.
I'm not worried.
Yeah. In the last podcast, you said you were inviting one friend.
Yeah, and now I brought two.
Which one is it? Yeah.
No, I actually thought of only inviting one of you, but then I thought might as well invite you both.
I love it. I hope I'm gonna come back. Spreekt u Nederland? No. Spreekt u Engels?
Ik kan niet Nederlands spreken.
Maar?
Maar
Zeker!
Sounded really good. Did that again?